Let me guess, you heard about the power of modafinil, but you're not sure if it really works, if it's safe to take, where to buy it, what are the side effects and so on. Well, don't worry about it, I'm gonna cover all these things in this video. Hey guys, this is Greg, the founder of Your Inception. Welcome to my channel where we cover advanced productivity, life hacking and sleep hacking tips, tricks and strategies to help you unleash your true potential. If you're new here and interested in hacking your performance, then consider subscribing. Now, if you're watching this video, then you must have heard about this magical pill that instantly increases your focus, it boosts your memory, your overall performance, your productivity. Yep, modafinil can do all that and much more. That's the reason it's so popular among students, among entrepreneurs, among managers and other high performers. But keep in mind, modafinil is not a nootropic, it's not a supplement, but it is a labeled prescription drug used for treating sleep disorders. So you have to be careful with it. You cannot just walk to the grocery store and buy modafinil, alright? So modafinil can be very strong, but should you even consider taking it? Stay with me. Alright, before I share my own experience with modafinil, let me share with you top 5 benefits of taking it. First one is that modafinil promotes wakefulness. If you take modafinil in the morning or even in the evening during the night, you can stay awake for up to 15 hours. It's very strong, it's very potent, so you have to be careful with it. But if you're tired, then modafinil can definitely help you out. The second benefit is that it can improve your focus. I've tested it several times. I've gave it to friends of mine. A lot of people I know who took it or who actually regularly take modafinil. And everyone reports, that their focus increases dramatically. It's like, you have this visual eye span, all of a sudden it goes like bzzz, like this. And that's the only thing you focus on. It's like the camera there in front of me, And that's the second benefit, it's really powerful. The third benefit is that it improves your motivation. Now, I'm not sure if this motivation that comes after you take modafinil is a direct result of taking it or it's just like a placebo effect that happens, but it's really once you take it and you wait for an hour, all of a sudden you're super motivated, you can work for hours and hours and everything looks good, everything feels good, you feel amazing, so it's really your motivation increases and that's really great about it. The fourth benefit is obviously if you take modafinil, your cognitive function improves, so you can think better, faster, your memory seems to be improved. Now, I'm not sure about the studies behind it proving these effects, but really, as soon as you try it out, you will see what I'm talking about. It's mind-blowing. And last but not least, taking modafinil can improve your mood. No, I'm joking, I didn't take modafinil today, but it's really, again, it's not just the motivation, it's also how you feel. It's so easy, to work on the tasks. And again, I'm not sure if this is the direct result or the effect of taking modafinil, or is it just the placebo effect, but it's really, you think like you're in a super good mood for hours and hours. Alright, we covered top 5 benefits of taking modafinil. Now I promised you I'm gonna share my experience with you. First of all, I've taken modafinil like 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 times so far, or probably even more. Now the point is that every single time I experienced exactly the same benefits. But let me share you what happened when I took modafinil for the first time, because all the beginners will be interested in that. So I was really scared about it, I can tell you. This is a drug, again, it's a prescribed drug, it's not a supplement you can buy in a store. So I did all the research, it took me a couple of weeks to read through all the research, through the forums, to gather feedbacks from people who actually took it before. And even on a night before I took modafinil, I was kind of scared, I couldn't fall asleep. But, all of a sudden, it was the day, the day I was supposed to take modafinil. I woke up at around 5 a.m. I set an alarm at 5 a.m. And that's earlier than usually because I read about it and that's kind of the best way to do it. I took modafinil, I went back to bed for additional 45 minutes, something like that, and I woke up again, and this time for real at 5:45. And then, the next minutes, the next half an hour, even the next hour was kind of a funny, I was sitting in front of my computer trying to do some work, there was a glass of water there as well, and I was waiting for the kick to come in. It's like, if you drink tequila, guys, it's gonna come after you. So I was waiting for the kick, and there was no kick whatsoever. I couldn't feel anything special, it's like I was waiting and waiting and nothing happened. But then all of a sudden it was like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and I was like, wait a minute, what's happening here? And honestly, I don't know what happened from 6 till 10 or 11. Like the time just passed by, and I've done tons of work. I was working on my blog at that time. I remember I've designed actually half of the blog. I programmed some stuff. It was really mind-blowing. And that's when I remembered how other people describe their experience. It's not a usual kick that you should feel, even though some people do feel it, but it just comes, it subtly comes, and all of a sudden you can work and work and you're focused and motivated and you feel amazing. And it was the same with me. So, at 11 o'clock when, I made this short pause just to see what's happening, I was actually touching my face. And I was trying to see, everything is okay, if I feel good. And then, I looked around and I kind of saw the thing, it's like I knew I am kind of a high, I'm super focused, and I could feel it at that time. And then I continued working, and I was working until I think 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I was only drinking water throughout the whole day. I think I had a small snack, but that's about it. I was super focused, super productive. I felt amazing, and it was, the first time I took it, it was definitely the most, or one of the most productive days in my life, period. By the way, guys, have you ever tried modafinil? What was your experience with it? Let me know in the comment section below. So yes, as you can see, modafinil can be a very, very potent and a very, very strong smart drug. But what about the side effects? A lot of people are worried about it, and I was worried myself. So again, I've done my research. I tried to figure out what can happen, and the most common side effects that you could expect are headaches, nervousness, sleep issues, obviously, and dizziness. That's what people reported. Modafinil is considered to be a safe, smart drug. I found over 60 studies done on it, and there was no real and negative side effects found, So I believe, in my opinion, there is nothing to worry about. There is only one thing that I want to point out, because a lot of people ask me, and this is about the rash that you can get. The sickness, I think, is called SGS syndrome. And it follows after the rash. So the rash is kind of the first thing, and then this syndrome kind of pops up. And this happened in 5 cases per 1 million people. So it's very, very rare. But yes, some people are worried about, if you're one of those people, before I do this, I haven't found anyone who had this syndrome or who got a rash. I checked through a lot of forums and a lot of blogs and so on, and I couldn't find any people. But if you're really worried about it, there's a link below. It leads you to my blog, my whole review, it's an ultimate guide to modafinil with a lot of links there. And there you can find special genes that you can check out. If you have one of those genes, then there's a high risk for you. So in this case, I would not recommend you taking modafinil. But for all other people, I think you're on the safe side. Of course, you have to consult a doctor before, but I will talk about this in a second. So my recommendation, I'm not a doctor, but it's just my honest recommendation. If you try modafinil, the good thing is to have someone with you, maybe a buddy or a friend, they are free of charge usually, they just come there if you don't have super weird friends, just to be sure, everything is fine with you. Otherwise, I know lots of people who just take modafinil on a weekly basis, they're all by themselves and they love it, and I'm one of that kind of guy. I don't even tell my girlfriend, and then she comes back home at 3 p.m. and she's like, oh, you're still working, you're so focused. I know you took modafinil, and then she's a bit mad at me, but okay, she got used to it already. So have a friend with you, and definitely consult your doctor. I think that's really crucial, to talk to him or to her, ask her about the situation, and then, you know, see what she or he will, you know, suggest you what to do. I think that's very, very important to do. By the way, guys, if you want to dramatically improve your focus or productivity, I created a special handbook for you where I share top 10 life hacks that I follow on a daily basis, and you know, it's a really cool handbook. Check it out below, there is a link and you can download it for free. So if you want to take modafinil, the standard dose is 100 to 200 milligrams per day. That's what I do. I usually go for 200 milligrams, but you know, one thing to be careful about, if you decide on ordering modafinil online, and we're gonna cover this in a bit, then there are different types of modafinil available, and you have to be kind of careful. You have to read the label before, you know, so you don't overdose yourself or even underdose, and then you say, you know, it doesn't work for me. So, you know, check the label and follow the recommendation. Now, another important question is modafinil legal? Yes, I think it's legal in some countries, it's illegal in some other countries, and in most countries that I checked, modafinil is a prescription drug, so you have to go to your doctor and, you know, he or she has to give it to you or prescribe it to you. That's kind of the rule. So you have to check this for your country before you decide on buying modafinil or getting it in any way. I think that's very important, first of all because of your health, and secondly, you don't want to do illegal stuff, and I don't want to promote that. So check this for your country, if modafinil is legal and how you can acquire it. Now, if it's legal and you have to go to your doctor, do this. If you want to buy it online, there are certain websites. Check out the link below, and there you can find a lot of information available. Now, my final thoughts on modafinil are the following. Modafinil is very strong. It's very potent. It works really, really good for most people. But there are certain people that don't feel any effect, you know. 1 out of, I think, 20 or 30 people that I know who took modafinil, he didn't feel anything. So it could happen to you, but I think the majority of you, if you decide to take it, you know, will feel the positive benefits. I do not promote taking modafinil. I don't think it's a safe drug to be taken in a long term. Personally, I use it to cover the peaks, you know, like once or two times a month, you know, once it's the periods that are really stressful or have a lot to do, I'm very nervous, you know, then modafinil really helps me out. But on a daily basis, I prefer taking nootropics and drinking bulletproof coffee and so on. You can also combine this, you know, nootropics, bulletproof coffee, or, you know, just normal coffee and modafinil for the maximum effect, but be careful with that. Don't experiment with that before you really know how modafinil influences your performance. Again, talk to your doctor, see if modafinil is legal in your country, check out the potential side effects, and then make a decision. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you learned something new about modafinil. If you're serious about hacking your performance, then consider subscribing. I have a lot of cool videos coming up soon, so you want to get informed as soon as those videos are published. Don't forget to follow Your Savage on Instagram, on Facebook, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. See you soon, guys.